Of course, it was technical situations, but then it became a Wi-Fi technical situation too. My goodness. And I'm trying to play this video, but I guess because the bandwidth from TikTok is so strong, I'm not able to really get off what I'm trying to get off. Let me see if I can hear this.
And it's the Nike store that's connected to the Target and the Nordstrom rack. We were browsing around in the clearance rack, and my friend found a Christmas sweater. It was a Nike Christmas sweater, red. It was on clearance, $44, and it was just my size. So perfect. Now, I came into the store with the intent to go Christmas shopping and not buy for myself, but my friend was hyping it up and convinced me to buy it. So I grabbed it. I grabbed it and held it and was walking around the store with it. We were browsing around, and all of a sudden, an associate, young lady, goes up to me, and these weren't her exact words, but she goes,
Happy New Year. So with the smoke, what's good with you? Steph's 23, what it do? Or 213, what's good? We back again after a brief intermission.
Goes along the lines of,
I'm trying to hear this real quick. Let me know what you guys think.
So that sweater actually belongs to another customer, and I need to take it. And I'm just like, take it? Belongs to a customer? What do you mean? Like, I found it on the rack. Like, it was on the clearance rack. And she just kept saying, like, yeah, it belongs to a customer. I need to take it. I'm gonna take it. In the moment, I was just so baffled. I have never gone through something like that. I've never experienced any worker at a store go up to me as I'm holding something and saying, I'm going to take what you're holding because it belongs to somebody else. It's one thing if I grabbed this item from behind the counter or it had someone's name on it or something. That I would be in the wrong for. But no, like, this sweater was in the rack. Like, it was in the clearance rack, free for all. You know, if this belonged to somebody, put it behind the cash register. I've worked retail before. That is what you normally do. If somebody like this person that this sweater belonged to wanted the sweater that bad, why wouldn't you hold it? Why wouldn't you go up to the counter and have somebody hold it for you until you were ready to cash out? You know, I know that if I want something, I'm holding it. Why would I leave it back on the rack? My friend and I have our theories because we ended up finding the person that this sweater, who was holding the sweater, basically, because I ended up just being like, okay, like, here you go.
Yeah.
I was just like, in the moment, I was so baffled. So I was like, okay, like, I'm not going to pop off over a sweater, but at the same time, what? Like, what do you mean? So then me and my friend, after that whole interaction, tried to continue browsing around, and we definitely had a delayed reaction because we're just like, what just happened? Like, did she really just take that from me? You know, like just forego the sweater. It's the principle of it. Like, did you really just take the sweater from my hand and was not even apologetic? Didn't even offer an explanation, didn't even offer an alternative. Like, what a horrible customer experience that is. Like, I've worked retail, I've worked customer service for 7 years. Like, I know how it is. I know, you know, it can get weird, especially when you're doing something like that, but at least be apologetic, offer an explanation. If she was just like, I'm so sorry, like, the customer left this on the rack and she was intending on buying it. Is it okay if I offer you another alternative? Like, maybe I could order you one online, you know, something like that. My friend and I have our theories, though. We think that this associate knows this customer, that they're related, because If you are an associate at a store, especially a clothing store, and a customer, some random customer you don't know, goes up to you and is like, I want that sweater that other customer is holding, would, as the associate, would you really go up to another customer and say, I'm going to take that from you because this customer wants it? No, like, no, they don't get paid enough to be doing all that. Like, there is no way that somebody's going to do that. You would offer an alternative, like, oh, like, it looks like that customer already has it, like, they're holding it, like, let me offer you an alternative. You're not going to just take it from somebody. They have to know each other. Like, that is my friend and I's theory. But so I ended up finding a manager. I know. I don't normally like to do that, but that was just not right. And it was not sitting right with either of us. Went up to the manager, talked to her about it, was respectful, was not popping off. I could have, but I'm not going to do that over a sweater. But it just, it's the principle, you know? Like, I went up to her, told her, like, hey, I just had a really weird interaction with one of your associates. And then I told her about it. And, you know, the manager was helpful. She did say there are better ways to go about things, which there are. I mean, there was still an underlying tone of the manager having the associates back and not being super empathetic about it, which I get. I mean, as a manager, you want to have your teams back, but like, that's just a terrible customer experience. The manager did offer an alternative and found the sweater for me online and, you know, ordered it for me and matched the price that was found on the rack. Wow. But I didn't get the promo of, you know, that they were offering in store, which is whatever. I planned on buying it for the price that I saw on the sweater. But aside from the materialistic things, like, it's the principle of it, you know, like, it's just so baffling. Okay. All right. First of all, let me give a big shout out to everybody who came back for the second time around. Steph213, shout out to you. So with the smoke, man, much appreciated for your long time support, bro. That's been a minute, bro, for real. Happy New Year to you also. And Jesse T, what it do? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're going to have a great 2024 as well. Man, now I was trying to load this up on the way back, but for some reason, it won't play the way I want it to, and things are lagging over here. I had to plug things in. It was just a whole different situation. But this was also posted in my Discord if you guys want to see the story for yourself. But that was interesting. I don't know if you guys caught that, but there was a girl who went to Nike and she found this sweater, this like Jordan Christmas sweater on the rack. And she picked it up, proceeded to walk around the store to do some more shopping. And while she was shopping, an associate came up to her and said, "Oh, the sweater that you have is actually for another customer. So I'm going to have to take it from you." And the associate took the sweater from the girl here who had the sweater in her possession. I've never, first of all, had that happen to me or heard of that happening. That's crazy to see that could actually happen to somebody. How do I get something off of a rack that's a free-for-all, as she says? On a clearance rack, you find this sweater, and then the employee comes up to you after you grab the sweater and walk around the store for a little bit to tell you that they're going to take it from you and not give you no other alternative, no other option, no other sweater, and just take it to give it to somebody else. That sounds like Cook Group stuff. That sounds like some whole other stuff. But that is crazy to see that a Nike employee would do that. She then proceeds to go to another manager and tell them the situation. And she said that he didn't seem very, you know, on the customer side. He just kind of took up for the associate, you know, and he did help her though. He did go online and find that same sweater and honor the price that they had it listed for so she could get the sweater. But I've never heard of that before. I'll go to the rack, find a sweater off the clearance rack. I'm holding it in my bag as I'm walking around, and an employee comes to me and said, "Oh, that sweater you have is actually for somebody else, and I'm going to take it from you. Not can I take it?
but I'm gonna take it. What? That's why we have the reports on this other Nike thing about them scaling back on what they have. What the hell is this, bro? That is crazy. That is crazy. The fact that they thought they could get away with doing this, like,
store in Victoria,
that is
Washington.
unbelievable, bro.
It's the Nike store that's connected.
I think people are getting beside themselves when it comes to this when it comes to this stuff, bro. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't understand how they think they could do that. An associate comes to you and talk about, I'm going to take this item that you have in your possession to give it to somebody else at the store. That is not happening. First of all, they're not going to take it back from me. If I something I'm buying, you know, she said she was caught off guard. That's why she did it. But as she sat there in the store, she's like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? And I don't feel no way of her to contact the manager to talk about it, because I mean, that's what you should do. They're out here being faulty and doing stuff like that. You can't have that happen. That's crazy. That the audacity. The audacity of some of these people, bro. It just don't make no sense how they would do that. How they think it's okay to do that to normal customers. Like, that's some cooking stuff, and she's in Seattle. That don't make no sense to me, bro. I don't think it makes sense to anybody here in the stream.
And I'm just like, take it. Belongs to a customer. What do you mean?
Like, really, Eric?
On the rack. Like, it was on the clearance rack.
Really?
And she just kept saying, like, yeah, it belongs to a customer.
Yeah, this is from the story that you posted in the Discord.
I'm gonna take it.
I try to play it here, but for some reason it goes to TikTok. And when that's where the video's from. So when I go to TikTok and open up the app, it has so many other videos around in the background, the ads popping up on my desktop. It's slowed my computer down, so I'm not able to play it without it being super choppy and messed up. But no, this is exactly the story you posted. So I was going to talk about this and talk about the other story you posted about Nike and them closing stores or whatever. But this is crazy. I'm actually screen recording this video so I can now post it in my Twitter and we could actually hear it in full, as opposed to how it came out. I don't know if you guys were able to hear that clearly, but what are they doing, bro? This is gonna only make the stuff even worse. People are already running in stores, running out with stuff. People are already not really buying stuff because they find it other places cheaper, like Ross, Burlington, and Marshalls. What do they think they're gonna do? Like, wow, people have the nerve to try to do these things without thinking that there's not gonna be no consequence. And maybe no consequence at the time, but definitely down the road. I mean, and I feel you. So with the smoke, I wouldn't have gave it up either. You know, she was a girl. She was being nice about it. She said she didn't want to make a big deal over a sweater. And I get that. I get it. But at the same time, like, what? That is outrageous. The fact that they would even try that. I'm shocked about that, bro. And Eric, when you posted it in a Discord, you know, I have been so busy, I didn't see these stories until like the other day when I was just looking through the Discord just to see what people have been posting and stuff. And I seen this, and I'm like, what? And I wanted to talk about it earlier in the stream, but I had these technical issues. That's crazy. I'm really surprised about this because I'm just like, how do they think that they could do that? And just think that they could. I'm mad for her. That is crazy, bro. Let me see if I can pull up this other one real quick, because I don't know if I'll be able to,
but at least be apologetic, offer an explanation. If she was just like, I'm so sorry, like the customer left this on the rack and she was intending on buying it. Is it okay if I offer you another
Let's see.
alternative? Like maybe I could order you one
I tried to
online.
return something
You know,
and wanted the store
something like
credit, and they
that.
said that
What
I
is
could
the deal
only
breaker
do an
right
exchange
here?
for
Do you
equal
think
value.
that
Now
this
that
company
right there
knows this customer?
probably happened because,
Because
like, I know some stores are not even taking returns. Probably a store like that. I know, like the clearance center, I believe they're not taking returns anymore.
goes up to you and it's
And why that's
as an
happening
associate, would you
is
really go up to
because
another customer and say,
people have been getting smart.
because this customer
People have been getting a little
no,
tricky with the stuff that they're
they don't
doing.
get paid enough to be doing all that. Like, there is no way
What I
that
mean by
someone's
that
gonna do
is,
that. You can offer an alternative, like, oh, like it looks like
some
somebody
people have
has
been
it,
returning stuff
and
from
like, hey,
Ross
let me
and
offer you an
returning it to
alternative.
Nike.
You're not gonna
Nike
just
products that
assume
are at
something.
Ross,
You have to know each
people are
other.
buying it from Ross
My friend
and
was the same
returning it
way,
to Nike
but
for the full price on the
so
tag for Nike.
I ended up
A lot of stores have
having
been dealing with that lately. So now that they're gonna try to, that's what happens. One or two bad apples ruin it for everybody else.
right?
So with that
And there's
happening,
nothing right with either
Nike
approach.
started to realize that, so they
So
stopped taking
I'll say,
returns because
okay,
people could just go to Ross right around the
no,
corner or
it's
down the
not that,
street,
but
get all these high ticket because the
but
Ross
it's
people
just
have the full
such a
tag
weird
on them,
example, you know?
take
Like
them back to
you
Nike
could
and get the
have
credit
told
for them
her, like, hey, I just had a really weird
when
interaction
they're
with
supposed to
one of
take
your
it back, because if
associates.
it's 2 years from the factory date, they're supposed to take it back. But I
And
think because they're
things are more
catching on to that,
formal. She did say there are better ways to go about things, which there are. I mean, there was still
Oh,
underlying
okay, you got more layers to it.
the manager
It
having
looked
the
like they were
associates
trying
upset.
to make number
She was super
sales
emphatic
that day
about it,
because one of the managers said that they
which I
were
get. I
expecting more
mean,
people than
as
that
a
day.
woman looking
Oh,
back, but
yeah,
that's
it's
terrible
about the bottom
business.
line. Everything is
The manager
affected by the
did
bottom
offer an
line for
alternative
sure.
and found the sweater for me online
Everything
and,
is about the bottom line, bro.
ordered it for me and matched the
That
size
is
that as well.
crazy. That the fact it's getting scary out here in these streets, man. Like you can't even make returns for the stuff that you
The
buy
store, which is
from the
whatever. I
from the
ended up
place
buying it
because there's so many
and I
different things
saved
happening
on the
now.
sweater, but
That's
it's
crazy.
like
And then
the
for them
two
to say that
it's like
and talking about they're trying to reach their numbers or whatever because they didn't make the
you
same
know, like
sales or they were expecting more people to be in the store.
it's just so
That's not my
frustrating. Like
problem.
if
That's
this
not my
someone
problem that you
really
guys are
wanted
not
this
getting your
sweater,
sales. I need to
no
get my money back
problem.
for whatever I return, whatever I'm
They hold
returning.
two hands
It's a
and saw the
legitimate Nike
sweater
item with the retail
and
tags and
were holding
everything.
it then and there after it was taken from me. But like, what was it even
Black Cat
taken
3 is
from?
gonna sit, man. Hey, to be honest with you,
Like,
fat
I am
boy,
not convinced.
I
Please
wouldn't
let me
doubt
know if
it.
I'm overreacting. I mean,
You
I'm not
know,
making this
like I
about
said earlier,
the
man, the
customer
Royal Toe
experience.
or the Royal Reimagines was a
That's
shoe
the
that when I
issue.
first seen about
And
it, a lot of people had
this is
made
just a learning
made it seem like
experience.
they were going to
The
scoop that up.
associate did look pretty young,
There were so many shoes that people
and
felt like they
it
were going to
was
scoop
just
up,
not
and when they
experienced
actually
any of
dropped,
these
they didn't
things.
do
But
nothing.
they're
Now,
definitely
it is a
learning
black cat.
about it, and
People
that's
do
just
like
okay.
that, but
So
I'm not sure about the
that
threes as
was
opposed to the
my thing
fours.
about this
You know what I'm saying?
because
And then they're also
I
dropping
got it.
the Jordan 11
So
breads,
that's
but in
why
this in a
when it comes
suede.
to shopping
They didn't
today,
learn from the Royal Reimagines. What are they doing? And then a satin shadow. What are they doing, bro?
it's
I know they're trying to do
so
different things, but
frustrating.
this is not the
Target
things you want to do
and
differently. Not with a
Walmart
bread
walked
11
around
and a
looking
shadow
for
toe one. That
and
don't
it
make
was
that
found that
they're not making sense with the
the
moves that they're
sweater
making right
red.
now, bro.
It was on clearance,
They're not
$44,
making
and
they're not making any sense of the things that they're doing lately, bro. I'm sorry. They're not. They are not. Black Cat, I would not be surprised if Black Cat sat around. I would not be surprised of it. You wouldn't expect it to happen
told
because it's a
her like,
black cat.
"Hey, I just had a really weird interaction with one of your associates," and then I told her about it.
Yeah, I want the whole thing to go up.
Told her like, "Hey, I just had a really weird interaction with one of."
Let me see what this is right here. Yeah, man, that is crazy. It's definitely not the customer's fault if you guys can't make your sales. I don't know. They come in tax time. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, that might help people buy the shoe for sure. If it's coming out around that time of the year, that might be a reason why people pick them up for sure. You won't put out cash for the Black Cat threes? I'm saying, I feel like that's the wrong Black Cat to drop. They should have dropped the Black Cat fours. I think that would have made it a better, more sense to drop that than um, the fours. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. I'm so surprised by what I'm hearing, bro. What? You gonna take the stuff out my hand? Talking about it's for another person? Military fours, that was a question I had. Is that a shoe that's gonna sit around? I feel like at one point, I lean towards yes, because I feel like everything's sitting or not selling out. But that is a very classic one that people have been wanting for a while. Has a Nike Air on the back. Yeah, it's hard for me to digest that that would sit around or not sell out. But I think it would. I think it would. You know, um, I'm just shocked, bro. This is crazy. It's like, what? What are you trying to tell me right now? Can't post it there either. Like, it's crazy, man. Travis Scott joints, not the new shoes. That new Travis Scott, it's not really for me. Let me see. I'm trying to see because I got some things on my phone. Okay, let me see. Okay, okay. I'm trying to get this stuff together. I'm trying to get this stuff together. Post that there too. This is crazy. The girl, she said, excuse me, that item is for somebody else. What?
Told her like, hey, I just had a really weird interaction with one of your associates.
Okay, okay. Okay, we're gonna get this together. I'm shocked and appalled, bro. Like I said, somebody said here, I wouldn't have gave that up personally. Like that would have been me. It wouldn't have been me. Not saying anything about this girl, because shout out to her. She's just a consumer trying to do her thing and grab what she wants to grab. But I'm saying though, like,
told her like, hey,
I wouldn't have.
About this, but I need to talk about it. So I grabbed it. And held it and was on it.
Yeah, this is this. That don't make no sense, bro. And hopefully it made a lot of pair of the threes and fours. Yeah, I mean, hopefully so, because the more when there's a lot of pairs, that gives people a chance. Like, there's two sides of the coin, but being on the side of wanting shoes for what you want and grabbing what you want is good when they make a lot of pair. It's good when they don't sell out because you want people to grab the shoes they actually want and not have to rush down there, to grab it. Like, they can take their time to get the pair, maybe get their money together so they can to buy it at a good time for them. That's the good thing about it. We want these shoes to be available. That's what we've always been complaining about, or people have been complaining about for the last 2-3 years, because everything was selling out. The resellers was grabbing everything. So people who really wanted the shoes didn't have the opportunity to. But then you fast forward to 2023, where consumers probably were turned off from the previous 2 or 3 years from the resellers buying everything, for one. Then you also have, economy issues. People weren't spending their money on shoes like they once were. People were being smart and selective with their money. So that's why it's so interesting to see what's going to happen in 2024, because I don't believe that the economy got any better as far as the point where people have more money available to spend on shoes like that. Maybe so, maybe not. But then you also have a lot of frequent releases back to back to back. People have to be more selective on it because, there is no stimulus coming out like that. There are no extra bonuses. Now, you made a good point, Fat Boy Kicks, about that Black Cat 3 dropping around tax time. So that might help that shoe move a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people might scoop that shoe up because it's coming out at a time when they have a little extra cash, you know. But it's just interesting how so many shoes were just available. And the report that they say also, Where did I post it? This is a story from Eric also. But this right here, like you got to think with the story we just seen, the stuff I'm talking about when it comes to things sitting in stores for different various reasons, stuff going to the outlets so long that they're making it to Ross now, and people who are smart or aware are knowing that they can find some of these same shoes at Ross. I've been saying that for a minute. I definitely really have. Even before this flood has came, if you guys have been following my channel for a minute, I've always said for a while, like if you're gonna go out and buy some stuff, if you're going out to buy yourself some shoes, but you're not sure what you want, take the time and go to a Ross or Burlington or Marshalls just to see, because you might find some stuff there that you might like that you weren't expecting to see there. And that has only been up times 10 now with the things that people have been finding at these stores like crazy. So with people who are in the knowledge of that, it will decrease people going to the actual Nike or buying things right away because they know they can find it cheaper later. But then you have employees doing what the girl just said the employee did, taking stuff out of people who are still coming to your facility to buy something. Like if this story got to corporate, that would have to do something, bro. Something would have to happen. Nike says it will cut $2 billion in costs in a major warning for consumers, because they're not getting the numbers that they're expecting. Things weren't selling out like it was supposed to. Things weren't selling at all. Nike slashed its revenue outlook over the year and has announced cost cuts amid growing concerns that consumers are slowing their spending around the world. The company said it's looking for as much as $2 billion in cost savings in the next 3 years, which includes layoff of employees. Hopefully employees like who just did what they did to that girl. Shares of Nike tumbled as much as 14% Friday. They've been tumbling a lot in their stocks. We've talked about them losing stock previously for whatever else happened, and it's only going down more after that. I don't think it ever really went. I don't think whatever loss percentage they had before went back up, and it's dropping 14 again. I think they might have went back up maybe, I would assume 3-4%, and now they're dropping another 14%. Consumers are switching their behavior, passing on this directional purchasing, discretionary purchasing, like expensive sneakers and authentic wear for basics and experience, like concerts and travel. Oh, okay. Expenses, like, I'm sorry. Like concerts and traveling. People are going to concerts more, people are traveling, they're spending their money elsewhere besides on shoes. Facing tough competition from upstart brands like Hoka and OnCloud. Hoka's really stepping into the game like that, and OnCloud. Now, it's interesting with that because you will see Hoka's at Ross, but they're still being priced at like 80, $90. And OnCloud, not so much. But well, no, I've seen I think a couple OnClouds at Ross. I think I might have, but just didn't pay no attention to it. Like seen it, but didn't post it in the video. I feel like I might have seen that before. But one thing I have seen as a sign of the bigger part of people not buying, OnCloud, I'm starting to see on sale at stores. For a minute, I wasn't seeing that. I was not seeing no price tags for sale on OnClouds or Hoka's in the store, but you're starting to see that a little more now because people aren't buying. They're sitting on stock, so they have to start marking down the prices. Nike's finance chief Matt Friend said Thursday in the company's conference call that the new outlook reflects indications of more cautious consumer behavior around the world. He's pointed to sluggish sales in China and the company's segment in Europe and the Middle East and Africa. So around the world, people are falling back and not buying stuff. Nike saw soft demand outside the key holiday events like back to school shopping and Black Friday. The company's e-commerce sales slowed and rivals offered higher promotional levels to entice shoppers. While fears of recession in the United States have faded, European economies are slowing down also. Okay. China, the world's second largest economy, is also facing deepening troubles. The weak consumption is a major drag. So, you got this already going on with Nike, and then you got this going on with Nike's employees. Like, you're gonna just turn away a lot of people trying to shop at your store for various reasons, including not getting, including going to a store and somebody taking the product out their hand to give it to a reseller. That had to be a Cook Group situation. Cook Groups are all over the country. It's not just in LA. Um, so that had to be a Cook Group situation where the person took the product out the girl's hand to pass it to somebody else. What are they thinking, bro? Okay. So let's see if we can make it work this way. Because I don't know if everybody heard the story when I first played it. I'm gonna play it for you guys now, so you can hear it a little more. Hopefully, it won't have too much of a lag situation here. But this is crazy. So the girl walks in. I forgot where. Let's see where it starts at. Let's see where it starts.
On a Christmas sweater. It was a Nike Christmas sweater, red. It was on clearance, $44, and it was just my size. So perfect. Now, I came into the store with the intent to go Christmas shopping and not buy for myself, but my friend was hyping it up and convinced me to buy it. So I grabbed it. I grabbed it and held it and was walking around the store with it. We were browsing around, and all of a sudden, an associate, young lady, goes up to me, and these weren't her exact words, but she goes along the lines of, so that sweater actually belongs to another customer and I need to take it. And I'm just like, take it? Belongs to a customer? What do you mean? Like, I found it on the rack. Like, it was on the clearance rack. And she just kept saying, like, yeah, it belongs to a customer. I need to take it. I'm gonna take it.
No, you're not gonna take anything. No, you're not. You're not gonna take anything, bro. Like, what? The audacity, bro.
In the moment, I was just so baffled. I have never gone through something like that. I've never experienced any worker at a store go up to me as I'm holding something and saying, I'm going to take what you're holding because it belongs to somebody else. It's one thing if I grabbed this item from behind the counter or it had someone's name on it or something. That I would be in the wrong for. But no, like, this sweater was in the rack. Like, it was in the clearance rack, free for all. If this belonged to somebody, put it behind the cash register. I've worked retail before. That is what you normally do. If somebody like this person that this sweater belonged to wanted the sweater that bad, why wouldn't you hold it? Why wouldn't you go up to the counter and have somebody hold it for you until you were ready to cash out?
Exactly. I've never really heard this scenario happen before, bro. I haven't heard where somebody just takes something out the employee's hand. That's boldness. That's like, ain't nothing gonna happen. People got my back here in the store. I can just I'm bro. I don't think this could have happened to I was gonna say a guy. I don't want to say it like that, but I don't think a dude would have gave it up for one. I don't know though, but because you're coming with good intentions, you're not tripping. And she said initially she just was like shocked about it, so she just went with it, but then realized, like, wait, hold up.
And then I told her about it, and the manager was.
Yeah, so she said that she went and found a manager, which they all kind of are together on the same team. So she did go to a manager, and this is what happened with the manager.
It's helpful. She did say there are better ways to go about things, which there are. I mean, there was still an underlying tone of the manager having the associates back and not being super empathetic about it, which I get. I mean, as a manager, you want to have your teams back, but like, that's just a terrible customer experience. The manager did offer an alternative and found the sweater for me online and, ordered it for me and matched the price that was found on the rack. But I didn't get the promo of, that they were offering in store, which is whatever. I planned on buying it for the price that I saw on the sweater. But aside from the materialistic things, like, it's the principle of it, like, it's just so baffling to me. Like, if this sweater was really for a customer, why was it on the rack? Why weren't they holding it? They had two hands. I saw who they were. They were holding it then and there after it was taken from me. But like, what was it even doing in the rack in the first place if it was meant for you? What do you mean? Like, I'm not convinced. Please let me know if I'm overreacting. I mean, I'm only making this TikTok because the customer experience was just horrible at that location. And I hope this is used as a learning experience. The associate did look pretty young, and maybe she's just not experienced in handling these things, but there are definitely better ways to go about it. And that was not it. So I never thought that my first TikTok.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. And the Twitter X is a wild platform too. Viewer discretion is advised. Happy New Year, Andrea. Happy New Year. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, so that's the gist of what we were. I played it earlier, but I wanted you guys to kind of see the video and everything. That's wild. It leaves me speechless because I just couldn't understand that. Not trying to sound like the tough guy, but that couldn't happen to me. I wouldn't have gave it up. If I found it on the rack and had it in my position, I'm not giving it to nobody. I don't care. No, there's no way in hell that matters. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like she said, if it was behind the counter and I reached for it, thought it was free for all or something, which I wouldn't do. It's behind the counter, obviously it's held or whatever. But the fact that it was on the rack for everybody to see and grab it, and I get it, and that person says, "Oh, get it from," like, nah, bro, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are not doing that, bro. We are not doing that, bro. Quick shout out to the Cowboys. Let's hold that number 2 seed. Congrats, Jimmy Johnson. Hey, I don't know what happened, but shout out to that. I think they did win, so that's cool to see. We're gonna see how it plays out towards the end of the year, but yeah, any win for Cowboys is a good win. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would have been mad about that. That would have been cool. That would have been something that we would have made happen. That person would have just been mad that they couldn't get it. They should have grabbed it when they had the opportunity to. I don't understand that, bro. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all, bro. So we gotta see. We gotta see if that TikTok gets to any steps further like it should, because that's a major situation right there. Hopefully it can get to somebody who knows about it. That employee shouldn't be working there, or they should just be smarter with what they're doing. Like, that's not cool that somebody could do that and get away with it. You are messing up the experience for customers. When we just read a report about how Nike's losing customers and losing money, people aren't coming there and shopping, and then you do this stuff for people who are still coming to your stores to buy. You're gonna do this? They got to be more strategic about their jankness, their behind the scenes backdooring stuff. They need to be more on top of that type of stuff, bro. I can't believe that. I would have been heated, bro. Like, what? Like, I would have been heated that they tried it, because I wouldn't have let them. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened in that game, but a win is a win. And you got to understand this is sports entertainment. So you're going to have a lot of crazy things happen that don't make sense and nobody can do nothing about it. It's just for people to be mad and upset about stuff, you know. And you got to understand with all these new gaming sites, gambling sites, so to speak, it's just making the platforms more tricky to even try to enjoy them, bro. When you have a team that was down by 25 coming back with a quarter and a half left in the game to win by 1 or 2, you know, messing up point spreads and all kinds of stuff. It's wild out here. Excuse me. And there's so many examples of these things, these mysterious things happening. No calls in football, calls in football. You know, this stuff is just, it's wild, bro. What about that football player in college who got hit and was like twitching on the floor? Like, that's scary to see. Like, what are we watching on TV now? You know what I mean? Like, this stuff right here is wild, bro. So you got to really just take this stuff in with a grain of salt. You really can't put a lot of emotion and stuff behind it, because the way they be playing tricks is bananas and pajamas. The way that they robbed LeBron of that 3-pointer against who was that against? Minnesota on the man's birthday. It looked like his toe had some space. Even when he lifted his toe up to shoot, it looked like he had some space right there, low key. I don't know. And then they lost last night, or the Pelicans. They lost tonight to the Pelicans, or last night technically, because it's the next day. But yeah, man, you got to be just watch this stuff and think of it as WWE. That's all you got to do. If you watch it that way, then you won't be mad about the outcomes. Maybe you still will be, because I was mad when Bret Hart lost when he was supposed to win. I thought, you know, I was mad about that. Man, viewer beware, buyer beware. And if you go to a Nike outlet and you find something on the rack, make sure you put it in your bag and hold it close to you, and don't let nobody come take it from you. I think that's something we can learn in 2023. Make sure what's yours is yours, bro. It's crazy though. You got a paying customer trying to buy something and you took it out of her hand. Meanwhile, you got people running out of stores with free stuff, stealing stuff, you know, or not buying anything at all, spending money on traveling and things of that nature, not going to Nike. That is bananas, bro. I'm that's I'm gonna have to get over that, but that was something I just thought that was kind of like, wow. And it's not like it's not like people are just out here spending all the bread. It's really some really some hard time for people. And then what you told me, Eric, too, is crazy how they, like, you know, want to try to keep a certain thing a certain way because they're they didn't make that much money that day. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. Like, what are y'all talking about, bro? What are y'all talking about? You know? But yeah, what, the playoffs start like next week, I think it is. Or not next week, in a couple weeks. How many more games left is in the NFL season? What week are they on right now? Once again, Happy New Year to everybody in the stream. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? We are here trying to make it happen. Do got to get up tomorrow. Let me see. What did Cat Williams say? Chris, what it do? Happy New Year's. What's good, bro? How you doing? Mr. No Fly Zone, what it do, my dude? Happy New Year's, bro. Long Beach Joe Jets, what's good with you? Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you as well. Let me know what you think about that Nike situation. If you've seen the video, what we were just talking about. Crazy stuff going on, man. Nike cutting costs When they cut costs, what does that mean? Does that mean they're going to lower the production of what they drop in, lower the quantities of shoes releasing? That would be a smart thing to do. That would actually be the smart thing to do. I think we talked about that before here in the live stream, saying that maybe they should just not make as many shoes, not have as many releases, and also not make as many quantities of the shoes. I mean, that would make the most sense. Get rid of those Jordans that nobody really care about, those off-brand Jordans, and just make the retros and not as many retros. I mean, why don't they think to take that route? They should have been did that. I know shoes are in production long before we get them, but they should have a way to halt things and pause things and not release stuff and push stuff back. They've done it before in the past. Plenty of other shoes that we're supposed to release, you know what I'm saying, that they pushed back a couple weeks. I mean, there's been shoes that got rumored and could have pushed them back longer. Like, I don't understand it. I don't get the logic. Maybe it's not for me to get.
You gotta have a lot of money to say some shit we ain't heard. You know who got a lot of money? Jamie Foxx. That nigga got so much money, he did something we never heard of. We ain't even say shit. Jamie Foxx said he got a mystery illness.
A what?
A what? A mystery illness.
Cat Williams a fool.
I thought we knew all the illnesses. Didn't you think we knew all the illnesses? We know all the cancers. Fuck cancer. We know 36 fucking cancers. We know AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis. What the fuck? Don't be looking at me like mind your business. It is my business. Maybe I want to catch it too. All he did was do movies and TV right after I want to do it. Not only did he get a mystery illness, they cured it. How the fuck? How the fuck could you cure a mystery?
Cat Williams is definitely a good comedian. One thing about this clip that I think is interesting, though, that's everything as a culture, everything just in general, bro. It sucks the fact that like everything just being taken back a little bit, You go to a comedy show, people in the comedy show recording to post it online, so you see the comedy bit. Now, it's good for us if you don't go, you get to see it a little bit, but what if I wanted to wait for his next special to come out on Netflix, if he's going to do that, to see it? But you got people in there recording. It kind of ruins it. You got people going to buy stuff and employees taking it out their hand to give it to somebody else. Like, what is going on? 2024, you got to like be on it for yourself more. Everybody saying stand on business, you can't go for this stuff, you go into a Nike store, and you're spending, you got yourself a budget of like $200, maybe $150, just to grab a few things. You're in there trying to contemplate, oh man, you find like 5-6 things that you want, but you can only really get 3 or 4 of them or 2 of them because of what you're trying to grab and your budget that you set for yourself that day. You're looking around in the store for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You finally come up on 2 things. You make your decision. You had 5 things. You narrowed it down to 2 or 3. And this is what you're going to spend on it. And while you're in there looking around in the store, like 5 or 6 people rush in and just steal everything right in front of your face and run out, and nobody does nothing to stop them. And you're like, am I about to buy this 2 things right here? Like, they just took everything and I gotta pay. Like, when is it gonna be the point when I would think it gets to the point soon when you got a bunch of people in there shopping, you see a bunch of people coming and do a run out, and then you got the people shopping running out too with their stuff. Like, all these videos showing people run out. How does that not make you feel weird for standing in that long line to go pay for the shit? Like, I know that's what you do because you want the stuff. You want to be a normal person, a good Samaritan and everything. But what is that? That is crazy. Chris, what it do? Whenever you go to Shoe Palace, can you show us if they got anything on sale or discounts for clothing? Oh yeah, definitely. I think I do show that, but I'll do a better job to show some more of that for you for sure. Some of their clothing, like, yeah, I mean, the last few times I went, I was showing that by the rack. They usually have these sales racks there for like $9.99 and things of that nature. Actually, some of them racks have been pretty full. I'll be more, I guess, more clear with it or point it out more, but I definitely have been showing. I don't know if you've seen the last few videos. I definitely show the stuff they have on sale. Sometimes they have a good amount of stuff, sometimes they don't have a good amount of stuff. A lot of the regular clothes, the other clothes in there, I might miss those because they're full retail. I usually try to show some of the things on discount, but I'll make sure to kind of pay attention to that more. Um, yeah, improve the quality as opposed to quantity. Absolutely. Now, doing what Nike. See, this is something else that is something that's weird. How is Nike going to make the first pair of the Devin Bookers limited to 500 pair? Like, what kind of sense does that make? Is that trying to give us like some false hype? Oh, they sold out quickly. Yes, only 500 made in a country. Like, how does that make any sense, bro? What are they doing? It's like everything is just so backwards and corrupt and just like off. I don't understand it. It's not making a lot of sense to me. I mean, this makes sense. I'm not sure what artist this is. Is this Doja Cat? Who is this? That's not Doja Cat. I mean, I would like to be front row at that show. Who is that? Y'all might know. I don't know who this is, but she doing all that on stage? That's a show right there. That's definitely your money's worth. It's definitely your money's worth going to a show like that. What are all of these things on my Twitter or X? X is turning into that. This was a 3-pointer, bro.
It's too close to overturn, and they are beside themselves. Drama here at Target Center.
Why they rob my boy, man?
Look at LeBron.
Why they robbing people, man? That looks close as hell right there in that picture. But when you zoom in, you can see a little space between. That's crazy how they did that, bro. It's like the Kevin Durant situation in the playoffs. That's what people will say. Oh no, academics is in some trouble, bro. What you guys just did to me. $25 million views on this, man. That's crazy, bro. It's amazing what's going on right now. It's amazing what's going on right now. It's amazing what's going on right now in this world, bro. This is something that's fire that's going on in this world, though. The Columbias in 2024 for holidays. You can't go wrong with that release. Now that's something that I don't see how it could just sit around unless they mess it up. I don't know how they can mess this shoe up. I don't know how they can mess this shoe up. But leave it up to them to mess it up. You would hope not. You would hope they don't do nothing to mess this shoe up right here. But why we gotta wait all the way till next? Damn, man. Very classic shoe right there. Very, very classic shoe. You can never go wrong with a pair of the Columbias. The owner of the boutique that I told you about told me the other day, where have you been? Yeah, everybody needs people in the store. Like, man, what's up, bro? Where you at, man? I was gonna tell them that I have no chances of winning your raffles, so that's why I'm not going to shop at your store. You should have said it to them. You should have said it to them, bro. You should have said it to them. These people need their reality checks. You know what I'm saying? You know, like them Kobe 4 Grinches, the reverse Grinches, or rather, hard to find a store that did that legitimately. The only way you got it legitimately, what I mean by a draw, was sneakers, I guess. But any in-store raffles, them things was all cooked, at least around these areas, you know? And they better not make it no reimagine. They better not make it a reimagine. That would be the biggest mistake they could have done, bro. They better not. If they did that, I don't know. They don't care. Like that's what I don't understand. Like some of the moves they make just don't make no sense. No sense. I spoke on these two earlier, but maybe that was the last stream. I don't know if it was this one or not. But my thing is this. I think this right here is a step in the extra wrong direction. A Jordan 11 Bread Velvet. Who told them to do that? Who said do that? They didn't see what happened with the Velvet 11, the navy blue one the girls didn't buy. They didn't see what happened with the Royal Toe Reimagine or the Royal Reimagine being all suede. They didn't see how changing the upper changed the whole outlook of the shoe. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, I mean, damn, I don't know. I can't right away say yes. It's the color combination that makes me want to be like, yeah, but a bread velvet, and if it's mint, like I don't know, bro. And then a shadow satin when the satin one breads are at the outlets like crazy, 30 and 40% off on the back wall. Like, what makes them think this is a smart idea? And can they switch it up? Like, thought that happened and then see what happened and be like, oh no, we're gonna switch it up. It's not gonna be this. Like, these are two bad mistakes that Jordan Nike's doing. This right here lets you know that they are out of tune, out of touch completely. The fact that they would try to drop these two shoes after the Royal Reimagine did what they did. And all their other shoes. They're trying to switch it up, but it's not about, you know, when the consumer asks them to switch it up, it's not about same shoe with different materials necessarily. It's different colorways that mean something, that matter, that are dope. Like, they should have just dropped this with some really, like a reimagined satin with like the really good leather and cracked whatever, like they did the Lost and Founds. They should do that treatment on these ones they're bringing back if they're gonna do some, like, but a satin that's not gonna sell. Neither one of these shoes I could see moving. I mean, maybe big sizes or whatever the hot size is, because who knows by holiday 2024, maybe the size 13s and 12s won't be the money sizes. That stuff changes every now and then, but no, 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 no. And then Black Cat 3s, it should have been the 4s. Like, what are they doing, bro? I guess I gotta make another, like, I gotta, I got some sneaker news videos coming out about this stuff too, but that's just don't make no sense. That's like not ear, that's like no ear to the street. That's like not paying attention to the consumer. That's like not paying attention to what people have been doing this whole 2023 and how everybody's passing up on so many different shoes to where they have to sell the stuff to Ross and Burlington. Like, what is that we get that they don't get? What is it that we get that they don't get, bro? They'll be at exactly, Eric, at a Nike outlet near you, bro. Full size run for the whole family, bro. Yep. Yep. I do that. Do that. Cause it's like at the end of the day, like even the places that like cook, they can't really cook like they used to because people ain't buying those shoes. Like it trickles down. Consumers not buying it, so the demand's not there, so the resale's not there, so the shoes sit. So they sitting on product in inventory. Y'all lost all y'all true real customers who wanted to buy them for themselves, selling them to only people who wanted to resell them. But then that's not happening. I mean, it seems like a lot of things, how long will we be before things are all digital? You don't go to the store no more to buy the shoe, you buy them online only, but then that sucks because botters get them. But then that's not bad because if these shoes don't have resellers, then the botters don't have to buy them. So people can just stay at home and shop. Because then you go to a regular store and buy a shoe or buy a sweater and think somebody from the store will take it out your hand to give it to somebody who's gonna pay them a little extra for the shoe. Like, what is going on, bro? Tobias, what it do? Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year. This stuff ain't making no sense at all, bro. And I only see it getting worse in 24. This year, I don't see a lot of shoes selling out. I see things being the same. This New Year's stuff, with the sales and stuff, you can only imagine. I'm curious now to see which shoes are going to be marked down even more. We were getting a lot of Jordan retros at JD Sports for, marked down to 150, 160, or 170, depending on what location you're at. But I would assume now, what is it going to start dropping? Are they going to stop dropping down to 130, 125, 140? Like what's going to happen there? Some LeBrons are $99 at Shoe Palaces. The Air Max the Air Max Penny One Stadium Green, dope colorway, $99 now. They're releasing so many shoes back to back, they have no choice but to mark things down. You even see sneaker boutiques with things marked 40 and 50% off. When have you seen a sneaker boutique drop retros 40 to 50% off? That means nobody's buying nothing nowhere, bro. Mm, mm, mm. And then you got people like me and other people out there, doing a Bobby Thrift thing and going and showing you guys, people who watch that, hey man, pandas are here. Hey man, SB Dunks are at Ross for $50. Pandas are at Ross for $50. Air Max 90s and Air Max 97s, like, or the Travis Scott merch that you missed out on at the concert. You can go to Ross, a couple Rosses, and look through the jackets, and you might find a $300-$400 jacket for $60. Shout out to everybody in the Discord who contributes to their finds to just let us know what's out there. You know what I'm saying? It gives everybody on notice on where to shop at and where to go. That's it's part of the reason why I started the Discord. You know what I'm saying? For people to share the things that they find, to give people options on what they want to buy when they're either Christmas shopping or shopping in general, bro. Where does this end? Where does it go next? it's a good thing for the consumer. It is that things are dropping down so low, but it's crazy because it becomes a flood of stuff that just nobody wants. Or it's weird. Two of the boutiques employees told me we're only sell it to customers that we known for years. Yep. And will we have extras? Yep. That makes sense. That's how boutiques will stay doing their thing, because a lot of boutiques they have really good accounts, so they want to make sure that they can sell what they want to, sell what they get, sell their inventory. It was so crazy, man, because like you got to think about it. Just breaking it down, like when it was really good for these guys to cook and stuff, they were really getting some good money on the side. We've talked about that video before where a couple people who worked at these stores were talking about how much they were making so much more there. But now, if they didn't burn their bridge, they might have to go back to that retail store because the resale ain't like it used to be. Making 500 to 1,000 on a release because you got stuff paid over the top. That ain't happening right now, unless it's for a Kobe Grinch or this and that. But you don't really get those shoes often. The people at these stores are praying for hype shoes. Praying for something that people really want so they can try to make some money, because that well's dried up or drying up. This stuff is definitely different, man. We're in different times right now. Just be a little patient with what you want. Look around, give yourself options, because there's options out there for you, bro. And that's in all aspects, man. Anything you want to consume, especially sneakers and apparel, you got time. Yep. Yep. They want to start promoting stuff to you. The store owner once tried to sell me some Air Maxes that were only okay, but I knew that they were going to go, they were going to sit. So you told them you were good. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are doing that right now, walking in and walking out. I mean, I walk in and walk out all the time, but people know what I'm doing most of the time at most of the stores I'm going to. So I don't I don't feel the guilt. Not saying you do or nothing, but sometimes you go into a store and there might not be people in there as much, and then you're looking around and they're trying to give you the excellent customer service. Oh, you need a size? You need a size? You need a size? You want to buy this? Anytime I pick up a shoe, every shoe, you need a size? You want a size? No, nigga, I'm cool. I'm reporting on what's here. I'm not one of those people you got to worry about, but I see how thirsty you are to get a sale though. That's because you was, you see the after effect. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the one element of the resale game that was a bad on all parts, was that whole, backdooring stuff. The idea of buying and reselling shoes never should be a bad looked upon thing, but there are aspects to it that are bad. When somebody buys shoes, the hike of the prices like crazy. That's a bad part of it. Or when people are backdooring shoes, that's a part of it. Even though I've indulged in that for other purposes, it is not the best thing for consumers in general. And at the end of the day, it hurts the stores later down the road. Now, people never thought that was going to happen. They felt like all these shoes were going to be popular, so I'm going to keep making this money, blah, 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 blah. But that is drying up now. So now it's coming back to haunt the store employees or managers who's not making their quotas every day, not making their sales every day. That stuff really does count, um, and nobody's gonna feel sorry for them. I don't. Nobody gonna feel sorry for them. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. I think I'm lagging right now, so forgive me. But I realize it's 2:30. I gotta get up at 5 o'clock or 5:30. So I'm actually in this live stream right now. I will try and go live a lot more. I will be going live a lot more, and I will have more notifications so you guys can be aware of it. But big shout out to everybody who came through the first live stream or the second one. Had technical issues, so forgive me on that, man. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope your 2024 is amazing. You got to be safe, got to be aware, got to be selective, got to be cautious, got to be curious. You know what I'm saying? and gotta be good. Just overall try and be a good person or do anything to do better than you did last year. That's what we're all striving for. You know what I'm saying? That's the main goal, is to get better and improve. So just keep that in mind with whatever you're doing out there. But this, in the sneaker world, we got more lessons to learn. Some people don't need to learn any more lessons if you paid attention to what happened in 2023. But one thing you do know is that you don't have to rush for some of these shoes. Obviously, there are some that are outliers, collabs and certain things like that. But for the most part, regular things, not so much, man. Nike's gonna be scrambling for stuff, and nobody gonna feel sorry for them. When you got the West Coast Joe situation happening, you got backdooring here, you got botting over there, you got employees taking things out of a customer's hand to give it to somebody else. All this stuff is going to affect the bottom line, bro. It really is. It really is, bro. Very similar from what I'm hearing. That is a similar look, a similar material for that LeBron and those. Yeah, I can see that. And I believe maybe that's why once people start seeing the LeBron 21, that black colorway on sale for $99, people were scooping them up because they say like those might go up in value a little bit. They might. Oh, really? The light blue ones arrived in Argentina. Shout out to that. Big shout out to Argentina, man. Would love to visit there at some point. Yeah, man, that's crazy. So just pay attention, be selective, be mindful of where you're buying your shoes from. Not all Jordan 11s are bad now. Apparently, that international release for the Gratitudes is not what I originally thought, but that's just crazy to see that too. I think we talked about that during the first stream. I will have breakdowns of everything on Bosco Life Therapy, so just stay tuned to that. But man, and then also on Bosco Mitchell, I got a new video dropping at 5 this morning, so please check that out if you have an opportunity to. A lot of good things at this chic store that I came across in Hollywood. Got a couple shoes that were unreleased, or not. Yeah, unreleased. They don't drop till later this year or later this month, rather. That's the one thing about going in multiple stores or different stores. You can find some shoes. That's the one thing too. I'm saying I'm getting out of here, but I got more things to say. Stores are trying to get sales. They're trying to get people in the store. So to do that, also, they're trying to put out shoes that, a little early. So when people come in and see these shoes that aren't released yet, they buy them from there, which gives that store a sale. I feel like maybe that's not so much of a backlash if they let something go early, because as long as the store is making sales, that's all that matters. I'm starting to pick up on that aspect too. Stores will put things out a little early. I'm gonna try to dive into that a little more and see what the meaning behind it is. I mean, one time I was told that different stores have different release dates, which sounded wild to me. Maybe that was just something they just told me. But you do see that where some stores do put out things a little earlier, but 2-3 weeks earlier. Like, I don't understand how the Ja Morant Chinese New Year was put out so much earlier. That thing was dropped early in December and it don't release till January 22nd, towards the end of the month. And that was only at Shoe Palace. I just recently seen JD Sports put out that same colorway, but it was in grade school sizing. So I'm just curious about that. One thing would think that they're getting the sales. That's something driving in sales still. So I don't know. Definitely good catching up, Eric, for real. We shall see what's going to happen these next few days, but I will be back live stream very soon. Videos dropping very consistently on the channels, plural. So check them out. Bosco Live Therapy, Bosco 2.0, Bobby Thrift, and Bosco Mitchell. Shout out to everybody watching on whatever platform you're watching me on. And if anybody's watching on Twitter, big shout out to you as well. Or not Twitter, but Twitch. We are live streaming on Twitch. I think my link to my Twitch is in my Discord. I mean, my link to my Twitch is in my Discord. My link to my Twitch should be in the description box of the YouTube videos. I think we got somebody on Twitch right now watching, so big shout out to you. A lot of content on the channel, so check me out. And why is it doing that? Okay. All right. Yeah, let me go because I got to get out of here. I got to wake up early in the morning. I don't want to be too sluggish trying to drive at 5:30 in the morning. You feel me? But yeah, more content on the way. Hopefully you guys have a great New Year's Day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.